Well, I've got right up at the top of the hour. Welcome. My name is Tonya. And if you're just joining, you'll need maybe a pillow from your cushion or from your sofa or a pillow from your bed. And then maybe a towel or a small blanket. We'll be using those towards the end of the practice today. This is a strength and flexibility class for Comeback Yoga. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization serving military personnel and their support team. We offer these YouTube live classes. You can watch them recorded as well. They'll be uploaded after class. And you can also come to any of our classes in the Denver metro area, really all along the Front Range. We still have some classes in person right now. We also just wanted to make a quick announcement is that we have a virtual breakfast on YouTube here Wednesday, the 28th from 7:30 to 8:30. It's our annual fundraiser that we're doing virtual. And we have a yoga class from 7:30 to 8 with Vlad. It's going to be awesome. And then the last half hour, we'll have some special guests on as well. So you can watch live, or you could also check into, we have some Zoom parties as well. So you can go to our website and find out more information about that. All right. So, yeah, my name is Tanya, and with the strength and flexibility class today, we'll be working with some strengthening, and then we'll be moving into some flexibility. So, more longer holds, deeper stretches, and then a final relaxation meditation at the end. So, it's about 45, 50 minutes, goes by really fast. At least for me, it does. Um, if you're brand new, never done yoga, it's a great place to be. So, and I welcome you. So we'll get started just by finding a tall seat. You can be sitting on that pillow if you like, or maybe on the towel or blanket. And just you can have your eyes closed or open. If you're in a secure location where you feel like you could close your eyes, otherwise, you're welcome to keep your eyes open. We'll just take about a minute here just to really start to come into our practice, to come into our bodies today, and then we'll be moving to the floor. So, just kind of sensing your breath, and you could place your hand somewhere on your body where you might be sensing the breath as you inhale. Where do you feel your breath inside of your body? Where do you feel some movement in your body? Where does the breath kind of move the muscles or the ribs or the back or the front? Just place your hand there and just guide it maybe into that space a little bit more, a little, maybe a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. Just really sensing how our breath moves our body and how our body responds to the breath in this beginning practice of connecting our body with our breath. Really important part of this practice is that we sense this union. Many times we've experienced stress or traumas, we become kind of sort of disassociated or unattached in some ways from our breathing. So use this practice today to just kind of get back to yourself. We'll take two more breaths here. Good. And then you can release the hands. And if your eyes were closed, go ahead and open. We're going to actually start out with just a little bit of hand work today. So just do what you can. Um, and if you need to change your seated position here for a moment, you can. And we'll start by bringing the last finger and the thumb together. And if you don't have those digits, you can also just imagine those digits coming together. And just a little bit of pressure there. And then take your next finger Again, if you don't have that digit, then you can just imagine. You could even take the kind of at the base of the hand and just extend that finger forward and maybe down slightly. And then take the next finger and bring it down and forward slightly, just to the point of sensation. And then take the next finger and bring it forward and down, just to the point of mild sensation. And then release that. And we'll go to the other hand. Again, you could just visualize it. A little bit of pressure at the thumb and the last finger, and then extending the next finger, and then the next, and the next. Good. And then just kind of shake it out. You can even flick the fingers. All right. And then bring your arms out to the side, straight out to the side, and bring your fingers into your palms. Flex the wrist. You might even bend the elbow slightly, kind of show off those strong biceps. And take a couple breaths here, just relax in the breath. You can start to bring those elbows down slightly. And then we'll take the arms out and start to open the fingers from the palm. Big breath. And then reach your arms up overhead. Clasp your hands overhead if that's available. Press the palms to the ceiling. Big stretch through those arms. Low tension in the body. And release the arms down slowly. Maybe finding that breath once again. Let's reach the arms up again. Inhale, bring your arms up. If you clasped last time, change the clasp. So maybe the other thumb goes on top. It's usually the uncomfortable way, the non habitual way. And then stretch the palms to the ceiling, squeezing those forearms maybe towards the ears as long as it doesn't cause any discomfort, pain. Remembering that sharp pain, we want to avoid that kind of pain. And then with your next breath, lower the arms down slowly. Good. And just pause for a moment. Hands can be resting on the floor there where they landed or on the lap with a nice tall spine. And take 2 more breaths here. Low tension in the body. Right. All right. And we'll come down onto our mat now. I'm going to come onto our back for starters. And you'll have your props nearby. Props meaning your towel and your pillow. Sometimes people consider props as, like, oh, because I'm weak. Well, no, we use props. We call them props in yoga because they help to support our practice in very good ways. Okay, come on down to your back and bring the feet in close to your bottom or just whatever is comfortable. And you can have the knees separated or the knees together, whatever might feel better on your body. And taking about 3 deep breaths here. All right. So now bring your attention to your arms. Palms are facing down and press into those arms. So pressing down into the floor and just sense what happens to the rest of the torso, maybe even the shoulders. Pressing the shoulders down. It's a little bit of energy through the upper back. And then release that. Maybe take a big sigh there. All right. Now press into your feet and press into the back of the arms and then lift the hips. They might come up a little or they might come up a lot, but keep pressing down into those arms and hands and the feet. And then slowly release that down. Now press just into the right foot, press into the arms, and then lift your hips and bring your left knee to your chest. Press down into those arms. Lower your hips and your left foot. And by the way, I forgot to mention earlier that I will be mirroring you. So when I say left, it's your right. However, if at any time you get confused, just start over or begin again and start where you are. Okay. Press down into the left foot, press down into the arms, lift your hips, bring the right knee to the chest, keep pressing down into the arms. That's it. And release down nice and slow with control. Good. All right, let's do it one more time. Pressing into the right foot, lift your left knee, push down into the backs of those arms, and your chin might come slightly towards the chest. Lower the foot and the hips. One more time. Press down into the left foot, right knee comes in, and lower down. Good. And bring both knees into the chest. You can hold behind the back of the knees or the fronts of the knees. We're going to do a little bit of movement here. So using the strength of the arms, bring the knees in and inhale. So usually sometimes we exhale, but really there's no right or wrong. And then release the legs and exhale. Keep a hold of your legs here though. So you're going to use the strength of the arms. Bring your knees in as you inhale. And as you exhale, the knees move away. Let's do 3 more times. Knees come in, breathe, and knees move away, breathe. Keep a hold of those legs. Really use the arms here. Knees in, breathe. Extend arms, breathe. One more time. Good. All right, let's take the arms to your sides. Bring the knees right over the hips here. And actually, you can bring your hands on your knees, on the shins, or place the hands on the thighs. Whatever gives you the most stability. But if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, maybe slide the knees so they come right over the hips. If you feel a lot of lifting at the middle back there, then come back in, come back yoga, come back in and press your hands or hold on to the knees. All right. We're going to take our right leg now, send it either straight up to the ceiling, like so, or send it to a diagonal towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. You can keep a hold of the leg, or you might lower the leg a little lower. So, what challenges you today without causing that pain? So, we can find that challenging place and then come back. All right, other leg goes forward, up, or down. Here we exhale. Bring it back in, pushing the legs and the knees and the hands together. Exhale, other side. Inhale, come back in. Exhale, other side. Do you feel quivering? Okay, you might. If you need to take a break, if you need to stop, we're going to do 2 more times each side. Take whatever you need or keep going. Okay, almost there. One more each side. Low tension in the jaw. Good. Nice work. Bring those knees into the chest, both of them. Maybe circle the knees in opposite directions. And then go the other way, using the strength of the arms again. Great. Okay, roll to your side. It doesn't matter which side you roll to, you might face the screen. And if it's available, come up onto the hand. So you prop yourself up with that bottom elbow. And then straighten your legs so that they run long. And if you're using a yoga mat today, you'll have your body more or less in line with the long edge of the mat. Now, get really long on the underside. If you feel unstable here, you can just keep your top hand or your front arm in front for that stability. All right, now push down into those legs. Notice what happens through your midsection, almost more of a little side plank here. Yeah. All right. And you can stay there, or if you'd like to join me, you come up onto the forearm. So for a forearm side plank, again, we want to think about the shoulder and the elbow being in line here. And if you push down into the legs, it's going to engage your waistline here. Yeah. And that might be where you stay. Otherwise, you could bring your top arm up. Keep those legs pressing down. You got this. Some of you might even come all the way up into a full side plank with the forearm down. All right, good job. And let's take that hand down and we'll come up. I'm going to spin around so that I'm still facing you. And we'll come on to the other side. So get really long on that side and take the legs straight. Prop your head up. So a lot of times what I see in classes is that we're kind of in an L shape almost. So you really want to think about lining yourself up with that mat. That sort of is just a guide here. All right. So either that front hand supports, and as you push down, you might start to feel the torso come slightly away from the floor, or some of you it might come way up off the floor. And that's it. All right. And then if you wanted more, come up onto the forearm, push down into the forearm, not the elbow, but the whole length of the forearm, including maybe the wrist. All right. And then that might be adequate as you push down through those legs and then maybe take the top arm up. Yeah. Good. All right. And then come down. Okay. Guess what? We're going to come onto our front side now for forearm plank. Okay. So parallel the arms, tuck your toes under, and with your exhale, lift the ribs, lift your torso, and maybe the hips lift, maybe the thighs lift. Maybe some of you, the knees will lift. Oh, yeah. Keep pushing into the long edge of the forearm. And let's hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Lower the knees down. Come to tabletop. Hands under the shoulders. We'll take what's called cat-cow. So it's a little bit of flexion and extension of the spine. So if you know it, you can begin. If you're with me, little softness to the elbows as we take our gaze up. Now, if this causes dizziness, then you can just try to keep the head stable. Otherwise, round the back, take the belly up towards the ceiling, back up to the ceiling, tuck the chin, and then take your gaze forward. Head lifts. And we can continue to do this, only just moving to the ways that answer your call of flexibility and strength. So there's these opposites continually occurring even in this pose. So as we round, we're getting a stretch, elongation through the back of the body. And as we drop the belly, then we're getting strength and flexion in the back of the body. So just continue to notice those opposites as you take maybe 2 or 3 more rounds. Sensing the breath with each movement. Good. And then let's send the hips back. We're going to come into happy puppy. The arms go long, big stretch for the upper body. Your head may or may not come to the floor. If you had that towel or pillow, you could rest it there as well. And then if you'd like to join me in lifting the heel of the hand, so we make little tents with the fingers. Big stretch as you push down into those fingers. So building some strength even for the wrists, yeah? Big breath into the upper body, the ribs expand. Feel the kidney area, the waistline. Big stretch there. Good. And then walk your hands back under the shoulders. Lift your hips up for downward facing dog. If you're not familiar with downward dog, body forms more or less a triangle with the ground, and we can invite those heels to the earth, can invite some length in the legs. We try to take the weight out of the heel of the hand by pushing a little bit stronger into the finger pads. So really it's just a subtle, subtle difference. Good. Walk your hands back to your feet now. Come into a forward fold. If this is causing any kind of dizziness, you can always look forward. You can always even bring the elbows up onto the thighs and lower those hips a little bit. Let's take 2 more breaths here in the fold. And press up onto those thighs. Come all the way up to stand. Whew. Yeah, if you're feeling a little dizzy, like I kind of am right now, let's just take a moment, catch your bearings. Can take a look at something in front of you, focus your attention. Good. All right. Let's come to the center of our mat and take our legs out wide. Bring your arms out in front of you and then pull the elbows back. So a little bend in those elbows. Good. And then bring the arms forward. Pull them back and take them forward. One more time. Pull them back. Good. Keep them back and then turn the palms to face the screen. That's it. And then reach your arms up. Maybe the thumb and the first finger touch without looking at the hands. And then bring those elbows down. Let's do 2 more. Arms come up, thumb and first finger might come together. Don't force it. And bring the elbows down. I don't think I did it that time. One more time. Bring it up. Just be really present. This is proprioception, knowing where our body is in space, and then come down. Good. Let those arms come all the way down, all the way, all the way, all the way. Good. Take a moment to relax. Good. And then turn your toes, right toes out towards the long edge, short edge of your mat, excuse me. Bring those hands up to the chest again, shoulder height. This time the palms are facing down. Inhale, bring your arms out nice and wide. And then exhale, come into warrior 2, bending in that front leg. Good. Press and let's straighten back up. Bring the hands to the chest. Turn the feet parallel. Turn your left toes out. Pushing down into the legs. Open the arms. Inhale. And exhale, bend your front knee. Good. And bring the hands back. Straighten your leg. Feet come parallel. And then release the arms back down to your sides. Hopefully, or you probably are, maybe feeling some fatigue in the shoulders. And that's usually a good sign that you're working those stabilizers in the shoulders. Okay, one more time. Bringing the hands to the chest. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, turn your right toes out and hold here. Inhale. Exhale, bend your front knee. We're going to move now into exalted warrior. So turn your right palm open, reach your right arm up, big stretch. Reach the left hand back towards the back foot. Big exalted warrior. Now turn your left hand so that the hand comes behind the waist. That's it. Reach the right arm up. And then unwind. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs, and release the hands down. Pause. Sometimes we just got to take a moment to feel the effects of that posture. Other side. Hands come to the chest, elbows wide. So when we're doing this, don't want to have those shoulders up as earrings, right? So they're just neutral. So we turn the other toes out. Inhale, bring your arms out wide. Exhale, find your warrior two. Inhale, the left palm turns up, reach forward and up, exalted warrior. Your right hand now wraps around the waist, back. Maybe it even comes to the front thigh. Reach the left arm up. Good. And then straighten, lower the arms. Good. Parallel the feet, shoulders back. And with your next exhale, hinge forward. Your hands can come to the floor. Take 2 more breaths here. All right. And now lunge to the right side. So your front knee is going to come low. Your back knee maybe comes down to the ground. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. Lift your back knee up. Walk your hands around. Come to the other side and lunge, releasing your back knee down. Lift up again. We're going to walk around again, lunging to the other side, lowering the left knee down. This time, so if this causes any pain on that back knee, you can pad it with your blanket or fold the mat up. Come up onto the front leg. We're going to add a twist just to help release any tension in the back. So take your left arm, maybe forward, can come up next to the ear, low tension in the shoulder. We'll bring it up and forward, and then bring your elbow or your forearm across onto the thigh. Your palms might press together here as you draw the wrists back. Take 2 more breaths here. And release that. Come back through the center and take your hands down to the ground. Back knee lifts. Walk around to the other side. Do what you can. This is part of mobility too, and bringing that knee down. Your knee might end up being under the hip like this. No, that's just how you are. That's just how you're built, and it's just going to look different than me. Your legs might be a different length than mine. Okay, so come up onto the front thigh. Bring your right arm forward and up, low tension in the shoulder. And then exhale, bring it across. Maybe the elbow comes onto the thigh. Kind of lean forward into it. Maybe the palms come together. And release that. Come back upright. And then come down. We're going to move now. Well, actually, let's step back. Oh, let's do a hamstring stretch. That felt really good. Okay, send those hips back. Straighten your front leg. It's funny. I was going to grab the towel, and I was like, oh no, hey, forgot to include a hamstring stretch here. So sometimes, though, this is difficult because if we have really tight hamstrings, it's hard to extend that leg. So do what you can. If you want to come up onto the hands or find another prop, you can. Okay, so guess what? Now we got to go to the other side for that hamstring extension. So just take your leg back and then take your other leg forward. You might help it if you need. And this might be where you stay. You could even be more upright and flexing the foot. That's a good option as well. Otherwise, come forward and down. Take 2 more breaths here. All right, good. And then release that. Send that leg back and grab your towel or your blanket, and I'm going to open it up. If it's a regular bath towel, fold it in half. So it'll be almost as wide as your mat. So whatever you have, make it about as wide as your mat. And then roll it up. Roll it, roll it, roll it. And then place it like so about the middle of your mat. And then come back onto and have your pillow nearby too in case you might end up using that. And we're going to come into a variation of pigeon pose. So take your left knee forward and come down onto the hips. So we start out kind of in a 90-90 here. You're going to sit your left hip onto that blanket. Your right knee might even come onto the blanket. This might be where you stay today. The next option is to come down. The next option is to keep your left hip on that blanket or towel and send the right leg back. Your blanket or towel will be supporting the front hip. You might need to make it higher. Just give it a little fold there. Okay, so we'll come down onto the forearms, maybe, or stay upright. Sometimes being upright can be more intense. So work, again, remembering if there's pain, especially on the knee, you don't want to have the pain. And we'll take another 3 to 5 breaths here, another 25 seconds or so. And after we stretch these hips, we're going to stretch the back after doing that plank work and get into the shoulders a little bit. And release to the left hip. Come up. If your back knee was straight, go ahead and bring it forward. And we're just going to tick-tock the legs to the other side. So again, you can have your right hip up onto that blanket, and you might stay here in this position. You could come down here to more of a 90-90. Oh, sometimes that feels really nice. Or if you have full pigeon available in your body today, then you could come forward, roll that left hip forward, and maybe prop it up with a little bit more cushion. Very, again, just a good example of how we use props, quote unquote, to support our body. So, just different ways of entry, different ways of accessing the postures so that we don't have the pain, right? We don't have that sharp pain that will cause us suffering later. It's the momentary suffering that the props can help relieve as we move more and more into the postures, understanding the workings of our body a little bit more. And take 2 or 3 more breaths here. All right, good. And then come up, unwind that back leg, move your blanket, and we'll come into a butterfly position. So you can sit on your pillow, and then you can take your towel. We'll bring it over the tops of the feet. Hopefully, it's long enough. You might actually, I'm going to have to undo my blanket or my towel so that it's long enough. And you'll re-roll it maybe so that it's a little bit longer. And we're going to bring the towel over the top of the ankles and then behind. You can either kind of crisscross it there and then let those knees come down. So, again, just kind of an example of how supportive a prop can be. The hips are elevated and the feet are supported. And you might feel like you could sit here all day. Maybe not. Anyways, so let's just take a couple of breaths here, sitting upright. You can hold on to the ankles, the shins, or maybe start to come forward a little bit. We'll take another 3 to 5 breaths. And then rise all the way up. Good. And release the towel. Coming now onto our back with the pillow. So have the pillow behind you. Turn around to have your back facing the pillow. You're going to take the towel again, wrap it over the tops of the feet and behind the ankles again. Okay. So we're going to come into a butterfly position, but on our backs now. So you're going to walk those hands back to support your torso on that pillow. And get it in such a place that provides some support, possibly even for your head. It's not uncomfortable, although it might be initially because it could be something new. But having the head in line with the heart can be really restoring, or even head slightly above the heart. Okay. And then we're going to take the arms up to the ceiling for a moment here and just kind of climb the arms like you're gonna, climb up to the ceiling like on a beanstalk, climbing. Just letting your head kind of be heavy. Can move with it a little bit. Notice your breath. And then come to neutral with the hands facing one another. Take both arms up at the same time, sort of lifting the shoulders away from the pillow. And then exhale, lower the shoulders back down, almost so they land softly on the pillow. And then take your arms, float them down to the sides, and let the hands land softly down to the surface beneath you. We'll hold this for another minute or so just to get some extension, to stretch the shoulders, Open them up. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, I nourish my body. And breathing out, I release momentary suffering. Breathing in, I feel blank, whatever it is. And breathing out, I feel blank. Take 2 more breaths here. And now start to bring the knees together and walking the feet closer to you. You can keep the blanket there or remove it with the feet. Just kind of move it off to the side for now. And then roll to your side, coming off of the pillow. You can place a pillow under the head if you like. So we're on our sides with the knees stacked and the arms stacked. I'm going to do just one more here for the upper body. So take your top arm and lift it straight up to the ceiling, nice and slow. And then open your arm towards the wall behind you. Just let your head go with the arm as you look over to that hand. And we'll take just a couple of, maybe 3 to 5 breaths here. And then roll onto your back with that top knee and place your feet down to the floor. Adjust here. Maybe a slight little bridge to get some length in the back and feel that you're straight again. And then bring your knees to your chest again and roll to the other side, placing your arms out to the side, head supported on that pillow. With your next inhale, bring your top arm back up overhead and open to the twist in the other direction. Gazing over that arm, maybe to the palm, but not forcing it. Just where did the head land or where did the head arrive? And with your next breath, bring your legs back up through center and just kind of rock side to side. Knees can be wide or towards the chest. And then a little circling of the knees, the hips. And then place your feet down to the floor. Get adjusted, readjusted so you're comfortable. That towel that you had earlier, you can place it under or behind the knees here if you like. As you place your legs down to the floor, those legs can be supported by that towel. Legs are straight, maybe, or bent, or this is just an invitation now for you to find the most comfortable position for your body for a final meditation relaxation. So, if the surface beneath you doesn't feel quite right, if you'd like to sit up, possibly even lie on your side, Just any kind of position that supports the most comfort for your entire body. And as I mentioned earlier, if you were here for the initial Dharma talk, we talked about where we cannot experience joy without suffering. We cannot experience suffering without joy. So take a moment to find where there maybe is or has been some continual suffering, or even now suffering somewhere in your being, somewhere maybe in your body, somewhere in the mind, maybe agitation in the mind, worried thoughts in the mind, mental suffering. Maybe there's suffering at the heart. And give it some breaths. Allow your body to breathe into it. And then thank it for its teachings. Thank the suffering or the pain, the grief. Thank it for its teachings. And then bring some place, something to mind where there is joy, where there is peace, where there is contentment, where there is ease. It might not be in your body at this moment. It might be a place in nature that brings contentment to your body. It could be a beloved, it could be your garden, something that brings you joy, an action. Maybe there's a word that comes to mind that brings you a feeling of joy. And breathe into it. Feel that joy. Feel that in your body now. Feel the peace, the contentment. And now thank it. Thank it for its teachings. And I'll bring attention to your whole body, all of its joys, all of its pains, all of its sufferings. Take a deep breath into your body. Breathe out. And breathe in to thank it for its teachings. Breathe into your mind to thank it for its teachings. Breathe into your heart to thank it for its teachings. Breathe into your spirit to thank it for its teachings. And then with your next breath, I'm just releasing any tension in body, mind, and spirit. As you begin to now create some movement, noticing the surface you're resting on, and start to rotate your ankles and your wrists, and bringing attention to some movement, attention to breath, and start to walk your knees into your chest if you're on your back, creating a little bit of movement through those joints. And coming to one side. And using that top arm, taking yourself up to a seated position and taking your time to arrive. And giving yourself just a few moments to come back to your surroundings. And I invite you now to bring your hands together in front of your heart for a moment of gratitude. Moment of gratitude for everything that is in this very moment. Releasing the hands and lifting the gaze. Mm. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to guide your practice today. Again, my name is Tonya, and Comeback Yoga is here to support you in so many different ways, live, YouTube, or in person. Feel free to donate to Comeback Yoga. We're a nonprofit organization. There's information in the link below. You can also join us live on October 28th for our virtual breakfast. I'd love to see you all. Starts at 7:30 with yoga with Vlad, and then we have some discussions going on after. So 7:30 to 8:30 Wednesday. Put it on your calendar. Sign up if you'd like, and hopefully you can join us. Be well. Take very good care. Until next time.